Shalom, shalom. Give us 1 second. Checking the feed. All right, we on.
Khan.
You welcome.
Khan, hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Anak na waha ay bar yasha Allah hawlakim la atam. Call Shabawai Baharacha Wakak Shah Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. Hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Asians, and Israelite foreigners. Necham Atam, Kaya Malakwath, Hashemayim Korah, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. First and foremost, we want to say, call Allah,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekwakadash.
A double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us the truth and rule well. And much respect to you, bros, out there pushing the truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
So pretty much, we're going to go ahead and get into this article. The title, it reads, U.S. military rated as weak, may not be able to win one war as tensions grow with China and Russia. I'm going to keep going. It says the U.S. military may not be able to win one war, let alone two, as the Pentagon struggles to keep forces equipped against potential threats from China and Russia, according a new report on American military strength. So pretty much the scriptures go into how it says Babylon shall be as women, or be like unto women. And also, current events, you had the U.S. military, as far as retention, they can't really keep those in the service. Either they're not paying enough, or the people that's in the service are too fat. They're not meeting the requirements. And then also with the recruiting, they're not able to recruit new people. They haven't to go as far as putting up transformers, to recruit more people to come in. Either further tying into how Babylon is becoming as women.
I got a screenshot I want to put on the screen just further on the brother's point. Because as the picture on the screenshot, it says, U.S. Navy resorts to drag queen influencer to attract young people to the military and hiring crisis. Because what you're seeing happen amongst the American military is they're having a lack of recruits that are wanting to join the military, voluntarily. This is why you always hear us talk about it's going to be a draft, because they're going to have to forcefully, pretty much draft these people into the army, because they don't have enough soldiers to go fight in this upcoming World War III. All right, so in this the screenshot, put on the screen again, you're having the military resort to these nasty people to pretty much influence these Americans to come join the army. Because one thing I can say about the military here in America, these other countries, their military, when these civilians join their country's military, they join with the whole purpose of fighting and possibly dying for their country. Mm-hmm. And here in America, they don't have that same mindset, because the military here in America promotes you to join the military to go to college for free, to get a Camaro, mm-hmm. All right, to go travel the world, and it's all folly reasons. But these Americans, they don't truly, really, it's dealing with you Jakes. We're gonna keep it straight. You Jakes join the military for that reason. These Edomites, they join the military with the whole false reality of thinking that they're serving our country. But nonetheless, them having to resort that low to make it to where you have to go to transformer people to come and use them as a catalyst to bring people into the military. Because with that whole thing of, okay, we're telling you that if you join the military, if you're a part of that community, you want to get the surgery, that surgery's free in the American military. Could you get that in Isaiah about there's a perverse spirit maybe in Egypt? Mm-hmm. Unless you had a precept.
I'll get after you.
Kind. Because that just, going to lead into what we're saying, because this is just showing forth what, the brother Yawan was saying about the weakness of the American military. Nobody fears the American military anymore, man. All these commercials of the world's greatest army, you see these army commercials, that shit ain't flying no more, man. Because like I said, you got women and transformers, you got trans gentlemen. Mm-hmm. and Transformers on your front line. So why would other countries fear that, knowing what the hell they seeing in your ranks, man? You know, go ahead.
Kind. If I could add to your point, you said women. Pretty much the woman is the weaker vessel. It was a post on Instagram, and pretty much
Oh,
it was she was a lieutenant, and pretty much a lieutenant they lead like almost 200 people, 200 plus.
Right, right.
In some situations. So pretty much she was doing her makeup and then trying to look good and everything. She had patches like which shows that you got some type of achievements. You've been to some ranking and everything. But it was a comment up there. It was like she still can't land nav, and as a soldier you should be able to read a map like
Right,
if you get
right.
lost. So I mean they got all this flashy stuff, but can they truly lead people? That's why the scripture, it further validates the scripture. They shall become as women, because she pretty much is useless on the battlefield.
Matter of fact, before you keep quoting, I'm gonna get it for you.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 37. It says, "A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her."
Can you, Baruch Shah, could you get mingled? Because it just further proves the point. You got ancient Babylon, and you got present day Babylon, which is America, Babylon the Great.
I got you.
Okay.
The word mingled is HG153.
It says I rob. It says wolf as mingled, interwoven. It says mixture, mixed people, mixed company is not America, Babylon the Great, known as the melting pot, showing you that further proof that it's talking about America.
Exactly. So read it back from the top. It says Jeremiah 50 and 37. "A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed."
God, just going to the point, it said become as women. When you go into, could you get it says the woman is the weaker vessel, Baruch Shah. We're going to that point, but pretty much when you fight wars, you'll fight with men, because men are the stronger vessel.
Yep.
As we're gonna get into what is it? First Peter, Can you read it?
Yep. 1 Peter 3 and 7. "Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered."
Could you get the definition for a weaker vessel? Because pretty much it's going to give us a detailed synopsis of actually the spirit of a woman is going to be.
You want weaker or vessel?
Weaker. Yep.
All right.
It should be in the Strongs. Yep.
Okay, so going into the
Right there.
Strong's definition, this is a G772. It says, "As the base of G459, 4599, strengthless in various applications, literal."
It's literally the woman. The woman is literally the weaker vessel.
It says figurative
Figuratively weaker.
and moral.
Morally, look at the morals leading to your point, bro. That perverse spirit. Morally, this place is weaker than all these other nations. Further proving the point that Babylon shall be as women. We're seeing it gradually decayed, or it's called decay, right? Or decadence or something like that. Yeah, decadence. We're seeing that decadence in America, Babylon the Great.
Right. It says more feeble, impotent, sick, without strength, weaker, weakness, weak thing, which is America, Babylon the Great. Because prime example, look at the president. Biden, having Joe Biden as a president for America, all right, is a constant laughing stock every time these nations, look and think upon America. You got this feeble ass old man who can't even formulate a sentence, be forgetting where he's at, falling upstairs, falling off bikes. These other nations look at America. This is why they're ready to come down upon America, man. All right, they no longer fear Babylon the Great, because they see that America's at its weakest point it's ever been. Which is why scriptures like Joel, I think it's Joel 3, where it says, let the weak say that they are strong. But the point we want to get back to is the fact that the main reason why these nations feel like this is because you have these transformers and women all in your military on the front lines, man, and in high positions in the military now, man.
Yep.
You got it.
If I'm not mistaken, they had it was a general. He had on a fucking skirt, like.
Yeah. like I said, you look at this, and if you put yourself in the mindset of an enemy of America, that's blood in the water right there, man. You know, that's easy picking.
Yep. Going back to, I'm gonna get this before. Can I get it before?
Go ahead.
Going back to the title of this article, it says the U.S. military, rated too weak, may not be able to win one war as tensions grow with China and Russia. So pretty much, the scriptures say, you know, the people take on the spirit of the ruler, you know, and if you got somebody that's effeminate in your rulership, you know, pretty much that's how your whole army is going to be. So this is Yeshaya chapter 19 and verse 14. It says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
Could you go into that word perverse?
Time.
Because this is just further land backing on the point. If America is pushing forth having women and nasty people on your front lines, man, that's showing the weakness of your military. Because like you said, the force behind most countries' military is the men. Prime example, when you look at the commercials, which we're going to show that in a minute, man. You know, but go ahead.
This is the term perversity, or perverse spirit. It says, ayim, which means distorting, perverted, warping, perversity.
Yeah, this shit is perverted because you got little, because when you look at the soldiers of the military, those are your warriors, all right, your army. You look at the ancient time, King David had his mighty men. You had the Hamites, to give you an example, the Philistines. Their great warrior was Goliath, was a mighty man, all right? He was a great warrior, okay? The Moabites had their warriors. All nations have their fighters, man, you know? So when you look at America, America's warriors are women, are transformers. Why would I fear something like that, man?
Right.
You feel me? So that's showing you the weakness that Babylon has fallen to, which showing you how Yahweh Shem Yahushua is breaking down Babylon, man. You know? Get some more?
I want to get a term stagger for you.
Go ahead.
This is the word I. It says to err, wander, go astray, stagger, to wander about physically of intoxication, wandering of the mind. You know, this place isn't really set on a particular type of morals, going back to the weakness. Pretty much everybody is doing whatever their, meaningless lifestyles go into. It says to be made to wander about, be made to stagger, drunkard, to be led astray ethically. It says to cause to err, mislead mentally and morally.
Mislead, because like I just said earlier, when you look at the other armies of the different countries, North Korea, for example, what was it, 3,000 people enlisted?
It was like a couple million or something like that.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
With the sole intent of destroying America. They don't give a damn if they die or not. Their whole purpose of doing that, they had motherfucking middle schoolers. As low as middle schoolers joined the North Korean military to fight against Babylon. And like I said, you got people over here join the military to get transformer surgery, to go to college,
Get a Charger.
to get a Dodge Charger, all this bullshit. But like I said, they don't have the mental fortitude to think, am I really about to do this to die for my country? Because that's when you join the military for. But America has become so soft, and these Americans are so damn stupid to where they don't think that's a possibility. You know, the military is looked at as a career choice rather than an actual military service to defend your country now, man. You know? But no, you had something else you can bring it up. But,
No, yeah, no, you about it.
I was about to show that article. I mean, that video. Lord willing, it's clear. But this shows you the difference. So this, what I'm about to put on the screen, is a video of a Russian army ad versus the American army ad. This aired in 2021. Look at this shit.
Новой жизни. Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен? Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты способен знать себя? Познать границы своих возможностей? К черту границы, а без боя нет победы. Но на самом деле, главный враг — это задача выследить врага, догнать его, превзойти, стать лучше, чем он.
It begins in California with a little girl raised by two moms. I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. To marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my call.
So that shows you the difference, all right, of the mindset of these countries. These other countries, they're ready to take down Babylon the Great. See, the reason why Babylon, isn't taking these different, speeches, commercials, even the talks that they're popping off, showing they're ready, seriously, because the pride of Babylon the Great has blinded them to think that they're not ever going to be taken down. Like it tells you in I can get that real quick. Isaiah 13.
I got a quick one too.
Go ahead, get yours.
This is Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 47, and verse 8. As you mentioned, they feel like they're not going to be in no type of adversity or, Yeshaya 47 and 8, it says, I'm going to start from verse 7. It says, it's a lot. It says, and thou saidest, I'm going to start from verse 6.
I was forever.
Huh?
That's the one that should be a widow forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was looking for. That's the spirit. Go ahead.
Let me start from verse 6.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 47 and 6. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, going into the nation of Yashala, Israel. 12 tribes, it says, and given them into thine hand, thou didst shew them no mercy. The scripture go into how they, they'll wear out their saints. It says, upon the ancient, thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest, and when you go into that word careless, it means batak. I'm going to actually go into it.
Go ahead.
Unless you want me to read it out.
No, good. You in the spirit. Go ahead, bro.
It says, batak, carelessly. It says security, safety, assurance, confidence, without, it says boldly, safely. I'm going to the root word, to trust, pretty much to be careless. Pretty much they're going into the spirit of America, Babylon the Great. Pretty much they live careless, like nothing ever is going to touch this place. They have never seen any type of adversity, for the most part. All right. So it says that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, because this is the overall spirit. It says, I am and none else beside me. I should not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Going back to the point, pretty much being that these leaders are careless, the people that are joining the military, they're not really considering, hey, they might actually have to go to war. They're being careless,
And to your point, Revelation chapter 18, verse 7, it says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. All right, and that's just feeding off of the brother Yaron's point, to where these Babylonians believe that America, to this day, you see videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, videos, these bold-ass Edomite Americans, cold-blooded, patriotic Americans talk about America can never be defeated. We got the greatest military, we got the greatest military weapons, artillery, weapons, whatever, They said that America's never going to see torment, they're never going to get invaded, but the scriptures say that Babylon is going to go down, okay? These other nations are going to take Babylon out via World War III. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai who judges her. So in 1 hour, all that pride is going to get sent out the way, all right? In 1 hour, these nuclear missiles that these nations are going to shoot off are going to destroy Babylon the Great, man. So that pride that you have is pretty much pointless. That's why it says in the book of Proverbs, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. Roughly paraphrasing, man. So everything that we're bringing out is just further proof on the weakness that Babylon the Great is showing forth. All that pompous, pride that you're never gonna get touched, man. That just shows you on how much more that America is ripe for taking. Because every kingdom in the past that had that same spirit of I'm never gonna fall, they always fall. Look at Babylon. The original Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. All right, not Nebuchadnezzar. Belshazzar. All right. Hey, Shalom, Ma. All right. Belshazzar, pretty much, he got the vision from Daniel when he had the hand appeared on the wall, wrote it on the wall. Many minutes to kill you, Farson, and he fell that night to the Persians and Medes, man. So how much more Babylon the Great? All right, and make the shit so spiritual. The elites actually saw the same message. Messing with that CERN, they saw it. Many minutes to kill you, Farson. All right, your kingdom has been found. You have been numbered and found wanting, lacking. There's no morality here. There's no remnant of Yahweh Shem Shai here. So this is why your military is going to fall. And guess what? The Lord is going to use the other nations to get busy on you. All right? Go ahead. You got something?
I was going to keep going the article.
Go ahead.
It says years of underfunding, poorly defined priorities. Going back to Rome 2.0, you see Rome went down by spread themselves too thin.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, they didn't have, it says poor funding or underfunding. I'm not sure if did they have underfunding,
As far as I know, you said about them spreading themselves thin, they're doing exactly like America is now, where they're putting their military forces all over the world. And they have nobody to defend their home front.
Pretty much tying that to, it says poorly defined priorities.
Yeah.
They ain't really focusing on what they need to be doing. Habakkuk 2 and 5, get that real fast.
Go ahead.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man." Going into how he feel like no adversity is going to touch him. It says, "He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home," or he's not worried about his domestic affairs. One of the presidents, I think it was George Washington, he said to maintain the country, pretty much stay involved in your domestic affairs, but showing you they don't really value their founding fathers. They don't really have any morals to themselves.
Hell no, man.
It says, "Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." But just going into neither keepeth at home because he isn't maintaining his issues at home. You got fucked up roads, you got a lot of homeless veterans, just stuff here that they don't take care of. It says, has led the military to become weak relative to the force needed to defend national interests on the global stage. The Conservative Heritage Foundation said in its annual index of U.S. military strength, the current U.S. military force is at a significant risk of not being able to meet the demands of a single major regional conflict. The report said the force will probably not be able to do more and is certainly ill-equipped to handle two nearly simultaneous major conflicts, being that they spread themselves too thin, and at the same time they can't recruit, they can't retain. A lot of their equipment doesn't work. It says at the same time the possibility of a two-front fighting has increased as Russia continues to wage war on Ukraine and China grows increasingly aggressive in the Pacific, according to the report. In the aggregate, the United States military posture can only be rated as weak, the report said. Across the services, the report rated only the Marine Corps as strong in the think tank's assessment of force capability, and readiness, while the Army achieved a marginal rating. The Space Force and the Navy were labeled as weak, and the Air Force bottomed out at very weak. You about going to something?
No, the brother Isaiah, just put some good precepts on, just adding to your point. Hey, Shalom, y'all about Shemal Shai, Barak Thumb, and all the brothers, and sisters on the comment board, watching the videos. It says, Habakkuk 1 and 6, "For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and it's like in hasty nation," they nasty too. It's a bitter and hasty nation, which shall march throughout the bread of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs, which is feeding off what you just read, because these niggas are in every land, trying to take up all the resources of all the different nations, okay, that don't belong to them. It says, verse 7, "They are terrible and dreadful, their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves." Because, hey, look what they're pushing throughout these different countries, man. All right, their so-called democracy. All right, you got them trying to push the homo agenda all throughout these different nations. All right, women's liberation, and all the BS, man. You know, pushing this Western philosophy, which you went into last week. You know, which is fucking up these nations' economy and ultimately their morality too. Verse 8. The horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves, and the horsemen shall spread themselves, and the horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. They shall come for all violence. Their faces shall suck as the east wind. They shall gather the captivity out of the sand. So hey, Esau is literally trying to, put himself throughout the whole world to pretty much, spread his hegemony, spread his hegemony to pretty much, bring forth this new order to pretty much put all the nations, under subjection to him, man. And all that don't play ball with him, like we went into at camp last week, he sends his economic hitmen, all right? And, if you watch the video, I forget the dude's name, that explains the process of how, what leads up to war. Okay, they send the economic hitmen in to pretty much try to bribe the leaders or president that they want to take the country over with. If he don't comply to the bribes, they try to take him out. They send the hitmen in to try to kill him. And they can't kill him. That's what ultimately leads to war, which is what you saw, for example, what happened with Saddam Hussein. All right? They couldn't take that man out, so they eventually had to build up some stupid-ass narrative, talk about he had weapons of mass destruction. They came in there and killed that nigga on live TV, And that's what they're trying to do with Russia, China, Iran, and these different other countries that don't want to abide in what America is pretty much pushing forward, man. All right? So Esau is through, all right? Because we're bringing all this out just to further the point of, hey, your military does not have that same bully status that it used to back in the ancient world, man. Not even say ancient world, the old times, man. All right? Yeah, like the brother said, economic warfare, man.
Yep.
Because like I said, America was able to bully these other nations into pretty much doing what they wanted them to do. But now you see nations like BRICS forming. These are different alliances that's forming. Nobody fears America now. They see that joining forces with America is bad business for their countries, man. All right? Because you had a couple months back, the pipeline that got hit, was one of Russia's major pipelines that got hit. It eventually came out. They figured out that was America that was behind that shit, which is what you see right now going on with that so-called assassination hit on Putin. They tried to blame that on Ukraine, but they said, no, that wasn't Ukraine. That was the fucking America that did that shit, man. Because Kyiv don't do shit without America's approval, because they know that America's the one that backs Ukraine, man. So all this shit is coming out to show you, the goddamn puppet master behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, man, is being revealed. You devils, you ain't got the power like y'all used to, man. And it's showing forth because your foot soldiers, they weak now, man. So like I said, they smell blood in the water. I mean, not America, the nations, the heathen, they smell blood in the water when it comes to America, man. All right?
All right, quick one.
Go ahead.
This is Yeshaya, Isaiah 14:10. You said because, the nations are seeing or smelling the blood in the water. They're seeing that the U.S., the dollar, doesn't have any type of purchasing power anymore, so they're going over to a new type of buying, But this is Isaiah 14:10. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, and they're becoming weak. You see, figuratively, morally, literally, all right, going into the dollar as well. America's becoming weak, and the countries are starting to see that, all right? And also because the other nations is getting the same button. At first, the U.S. had that type of power, but everybody has that button now, going to the nukes.
Yeah, Yabashim al-Shah labeled, he leveled the playing field. So now, like I said, you proud as Americans haven't realized that whole bully status that y'all had is not the same staying power that it used to be back in the ancient world, man. All right, well, I keep saying ancient world, back in the old times, man. All right, real quick, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right. And so, like the brother Isaiah put on the comment board, hey, America's NATO allies, they're starting to see the weakness in America too. And this is why you're seeing everybody start to take these backdoor deals to pretty much undermine America, because they're seeing the shit that they're doing. All right, the sanctions that they put on, Russia and these different countries, that's actually affecting them as well. When that pipeline got hit and they put them sanctions on Russia to where you had them nations over there freezing during the wintertime. That was the byproduct of the issues that you have with Russia. Now, this is supposed to be your allies. Why are your allies suffering because of your so-called beef, man? So now you have it to where these other nations, they see, hey, Russia they're actually looking out. So fuck America, I'm gonna go with Russia now, man. So you're seeing different countries starting to take Russia's side on the beef, man. So it's gonna get to a point to where America's allies are actually gonna turn on America and shoot missiles over here. This is why you're seeing allies like Turkey, which is one of the main examples that comes to mind at the moment. All right, they said fuck Babylon. I'm going with Russia, man. Different African nations, and we're not with this shit, man, because we're seeing the shit that you're bringing us is not beneficial for our people, and it started with that goddamn juicy juice, man. And so from the juicy juice to the sanctions to the different laws and things you're bringing, it's all bullshit that they're waking up to. This is why they're leaving you and going to your so-called enemy, man. All right, but it's gonna get to a point to where all these nations are gonna turn against you and shoot missiles on you, man. All right.
I had to.
Go ahead.
This is Ibadiah, also Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
I just brought that out. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, go ahead. It's that spirit. It wanted to come out again.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and have prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So pretty much, all of Esau's, chiefly talking about America, they're, like the brother said, doing the backdoor deals. And Esau don't have any type of understanding on it. You see, and even further, when the nukes come, they're going to be caught unawares as well. All right. I also want to get Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. It says, but Baal of Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. All right, going into what we got, Ta'ai, our ayim, which was that perverseness. All right, going into the ways and the philosophies and the wine of Babylon that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right, and these nations are seeing that the ways of America, Babylon, is not beneficial. You see, that's why they're casting off that wine. You look at Jamaica. They said no more like Bati boys. They said no more like what's something else they was talking about down there as well.
In Jamaica?
Yeah, in different countries. Like they just
I know it was I think it was Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
They was like cause they were trying to bring the nasty people to them. They was like, yo, we ain't fucking with that.
Right.
If you a Bati boy, you gonna get put to death on the spot, man.
Right.
I think Japan was like, we ain't fucking with that shit either.
Right. They're seeing that the ways of America is not beneficial. They don't want no parts of that. That's why it says, therefore the nations are mad.
God. Add to you. This is Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Because that's what we're going into. Your allies, all right, your NATO allies are going to turn on you and eventually, push the button and send nukes on you, man. So all this that we're seeing, happening in the news is just further proof that prophecy is taking place, man. Because, like I said, these other nations are waking up to the fact that America isn't beneficial for them, man. All right. So I wanted to get this, the brother Labanah endured the last days for. All right, good precept I want to get. Let me go to it real quick in the book of Joel 3.
Let me get this real fast.
Go ahead.
This is Yeshaya, also Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, you go into that word woe, it means misery, destruction,
Yep.
which we're seeing happen to America. It says woe to thee that spoilers. When you go into how America moves, they make different they write into legislation to where they moving in on a certain country, to spoil that nation. All right, when truly was no reason for them to go in there in the first place. It says, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they deal not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And that's what we're seeing, the backdoor deals, the Obadiah 1 and 7. These countries switching sides,
Mm-hmm. So, like we was going into earlier about the America's enemies that they, look down upon. Matter of fact, what's that in? Let me get that real quick. In Psalms 10, because like we said,
10 and 4.
It's 5, 10 and 5. Psalm 10 and 5. I started 4. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Yahweh by Shem Yahushai is not always thoughts. The point, verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for his enemies, he puffeth at them. He saith in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And that's how these Edomites truly feel, that they are never going to, have any, anybody, come up and stand up against them, man. But like I said, if you're watching world news, all right, not talking about no CNN, no Fox News, no goddamn American media, no. You got to look at world news, such as RT, Smart News, alternative media, okay? They'll show you the real news. And in the real news, it'll show you countries like North Korea, Iran, all right? Even smaller countries like Syria, different countries. They're really mounting up against America to prepare to fight against them, man. But America's not taking them serious because, like I said, America is proud.
Yep.
You can pull up videos right now. Go on, TikTok. TikTok is a heavy news outlet if you know how to use TikTok correctly. All right, and it'll show you, different news articles and videos, mindsets of these fucking proud devils. They'll sit there and spout bullshit talking about, America can never be taken out of. Only threat that we have against America is Russia, but even then, Russia can't take us out. That's pomp. That's what it said. The pomp, like pomp shall be brought low. Roughly paraphrasing, because the pride of the fucking Edomites, man, is going to be taken down. Because look, you ain't the big bad bull on the block no more. I'm gonna keep saying that shit, man. All right, nobody's scared of you fucking Edomites no more, man. All right, so getting to the point. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. All right, and that's dealing with these other nations that America is looking down upon, man. That they view in their eyes that they ain't no threat to me. All right, because like you said earlier, all nations have nuclear capability now, man. All right, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Because these other nations, they're starting to take, their money and put it forward to the military because they were known as agricultural nations. They're putting their money, into their nuclear capability. So now, like I said, everybody got nukes now, all right? Because the point, what made America so feared and revered at that time was when you go back to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when they dropped the atomic bomb on them damn gooks over in Japan, nobody seen that shit before, man. Okay, nobody had really seen a bomb on that magnitude ever happen. All right, so we're in the time now to where it went from atomic bombs to where we're at, and we're at nuclear bombs. But even from nuclear bombs, we got supersonic, hypersonic missiles, where these countries like North Korea, China, Russia have nuclear capabilities to where they're able to shoot missiles over here in less than 15 minutes. That's why we read it over in Revelation 18 that it said that they have in 1 hour, in one day, in 1 hour, the Babylon the Great will be destroyed. Okay, so that's where we're at with it, man. And it's gonna be You know what that's at? What's that? Was it 2 million missiles? 2 million missiles, something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Should be in Revelation. I think it's 9.
Yeah, if you know where that's at, Bible can try to get that. Whoever in the comment board, Bible can try if you can get that. If brother can't find it, but it's going to be millions of warheads that's going to touch down on the shores of America. That's going to lay this place desolate, man. All right. Now,
Right.
it was funny because the topic we was about to get on Jake, but Spread wanted to hop on fucking America, man. You know. But go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 9 and verse. You want to start with verse like 13? Well, just go to the point.
Good point, yeah.
Verse 16, it says, "And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them." Keep going.
Yeah, the 200,000 is talking about the warheads, the missile that's going to be shot out. But inside those missiles, all right, I forget how many warheads is inside one missile. But because you hear brothers talk about that, a lot of brothers will be like, "Yo, it's 200 million missiles." And it's really good into the warhead that's inside the missile. Like, that's going to touch down and burn the shores of America, man. You know, so the Spirit of the Lord is going to be in those missiles to burn this place, man. You know. So all nations have the capability to shoot a nuke over here, man. All right, and the Lord's gonna allow every nation to unload the clip on this place, man. You know, because ultimately, when you go into it, read that again.
Con. Revelation 9 and 16, "And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them." So 200,000 is going to 200 million. Verse 17, "And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses, whereas the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone." Because when you look at a like a nuke or like a missile, even if you look at the we call it atomic bombs, pretty much on atomic bombs they'll put like they have like it like a big ass bullet round.
Yeah.
And like they'll paint like they'll put like eyes.
It's called a bomb.
Yeah, and then they'll put like a mouth up there. But chiefly it's talking about at the top of a projectile, you got a round, and pretty much that's what actually hits. Cause like if you look at a bullet, you got the casing, and then you got the round at the top. Pretty much the round is talking about the mouth part, the front of it.
What's that script that says the power is in the head or something like that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's in that same
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
It says verse. Skip down to it or read down to it.
Read down. See what it says.
Verse 18. By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issue out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
All right, so read that from that part, the part you began at again. We'll break that down.
19.
Yep.
Revelation 9 and 19. Yeah, I kind of skipped the point. It says, "For their power is in their mouth."
Go up one more verse.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire.
The third part of men is talking about the Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the sons of the wicked. Okay, because there's three parts of men. You got the sons of God, the sons of God, which is the Israelites. All right, you got the sons of man, which is the heathen, and the sons of the wicked, which is the Edomites. So the sons of men, all right, the third part of men is going to be cut off. Go ahead.
By the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth.
The power is in their mouth, going into the heads of the missiles. Those where the warheads are located. All right, go ahead.
And in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
All right, the tails being the fire that leads the missiles, to the target.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but the main point being the main power is in the warhead tip, man. All right, the head of the missile. That's where the warheads lie at.
Mm-hmm.
One warhead alone can wipe out the state of Texas, which is the biggest part of America by itself. It's an actual website for if brothers want to look up the power of the missile. Let me see if I still got it in my bookmark. If I can find it, I'm gonna put it in the comment board. But if you want play with it, but it'll show you the power of one nuclear missile the effect that it'll have on the land that it'll hit. All right.
Shit, if you look at different like artillery rounds, which is probably about like maybe like 3 feet tall, you know the projectile range pretty much like 800 meters. So if you got something that's like way more powerful, you got like one nuke. That's probably like a whole state. You know.
Like I said, the size of
Yeah.
Texas, which is the biggest state in America.
Mm-hmm.
Because, hey, like the apostle said, the state of Texas alone can hold all America.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So with that being said, if one warhead can destroy that alone, 200 million missiles, that's overkill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is why in Revelation 13, the latter part of that chapter, it talks about after you know those missiles are shot over here, this land is going to be uninhabitable at that time, man. You know.
Con.
Well, go ahead.
That was pretty much it. You want me to go to? I was about to get a precept.
You got your precept. I'm trying to look for this article.
Okay.
I had a precept after you.
This is Yahweh Allah, also Joel chapter 2 and verse 7. It says, "They shall run like mighty men; they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks." Pretty much going into how it's going to be programmed to where it's going to hit its exact target. You know, they got different missile defense systems, but it's not going to affect the ranks or ways of these missiles. It says, "Neither shall one thrust another; they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city; they shall run upon the wall; they shall climb up upon the houses; they shall enter in at the windows like a thief." But pretty much it's going into the point where they're not going to break their ranks, so they're going to reach their target. You know, no matter what Esau does.
Yeah, because get that in the book of James chapter 5 and 5. James 5 and 4. Because the reason why the Lord said that the missiles are not going to break their rank is because the Spirit of the Lord is actually going to be on the missiles to pretty much, you know, hit their target.
You said 5 and 4?
5 and 4, yeah. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because the missiles are part of the Lord's armory.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
Start at 5 and 4, or is 5 and 4 the point?
5 and 4 is the point. This is one right to the point.
God, this is James 5 and 4. It says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth."
All right, so the point, I'm going to break it down, but the point is in the latter part of the verse. So it says that the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, all right, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, because we know that the so-called Negro Latino Native Americans built up the infrastructure of Babylon the Great, man. All right, and we don't have shit to prove that, man. Okay, so we're crying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for the injustices that has been done against us, man. It says, "And the cries of them which have been reaped are entering into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth." All right, Yahweh Shai, man, the Lord of armies. Because that word Sabaoth goes, the Lord of Sabaoth means the Lord of armies, man. So as I mentioned, the nuclear missiles, they're a part of the Lord's army. All right. So just as you have the so-called UFOs, the chariots of God, they're a part of the Lord's army. Also, you got the nuclear missiles, which are part of the Lord's army, man. This is why the precept you just read, no missile is going to break their rank. They're going to hit the desired target because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be in the missiles and guiding them to their desired target, man. You know? And like I said, that link that's in the comment board I just put, for brothers that want to, you know, play with that shows you the power of different missiles that the Lord, you know, has given Esau the Spirit to create, man. When you read that, what's that, Isaiah 54? I created the smith to blow up the coals.
I believe so. I think it's 54 and 16. Let me get
You
that.
want to get that real quick, Bible Kashah. Because the Lord gave him that spirit, man. You know? When you go into, all right, the whole thing with the atomic bomb, all right, that was the Lord that did that. Because when you go into the word atom, in the etymology, the word atom means unsplittable. So the Lord gave these damn German scientists, all right, starting with what was Robert Oppenheimer, who was a damn so-called, you know, 49er, all right. They gave them the power to split the atom to eventually have them develop that weapon, which is going to be used for their own downfall, man. That's why when he created that, he had that saying, "I am become as death," because he knew eventually that weapon could be used against him to destroy their nation to destroy them, man. You know, go ahead.
This is Yeshaya, also Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
Yeah, so that's like I said, that's that going to the German scientists been given the ability to split the atom and create the atomic bomb, which has been mastered and came to the point to where we have countries that have nuclear capabilities, man. But you see, you're having all these different countries create these nuclear missiles to eventually get ready for World War III. All right, like we always hear the apostles and brothers say, these nations don't have these missiles for no reason. It's not for show. They're not going to just create these missiles and put them in the museum. No, they're going to use them. This is why you had Albert Pike. He has a book called More of the Dogmas, and in that book, he details how the elites pretty much orchestrated to where they created, because all these world wars, they're bankers' wars, man, created by the elites. All right. So in that book, he details how there's going to be 3 world wars, and after that 3rd world war, it's going to come forth the new world order. You know, that's why they have that saying that they're pretty much trying to be like the phoenix and rise from the ashes, man, and begin a new world under their rulership, man. Yes, sir.
You wanted that precept?
Go ahead.
This is Yahazak Allah, also Ezekiel, chapter 21 and verse 9. It says, Son of man, prophesy and say thus, saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth?
That's going into ultimately the nuclear missiles, but that sword that's being furbished can also be accounted to you Edomites, you know, and the plan that you have to genocide Jake, you know. But the main point being, like the latter part of it said that sword that's glitters, that going into the nuclear missiles, man. Which is why we warn you, you 2/3, really all of Israel, man. All right, 2/3 and the elect to repent, so that you don't take part in that lake of fire, man. You know, because those nuclear missiles is the end all be all. All right, because in this life, you got 2 options. Like the scriptures say in Luke 13 and 3, repent or perish. The only way you're gonna get out of that nuclear fire is you either gonna fly or you're gonna fry, man. All right. So if you are a wise man, you will want to take the fly option, because when you fry in that lake of fire, the Lord is gonna fry your ass, man. And when I mean that, you gonna sit in that fire to when your flesh burns away, your spirit is gonna stay in that fire, and you're gonna burn. That's the rebuke of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right. And the main ones that gonna take part in that fire is you fucking nigga that's gonna take that RFID chip, man, that mark of the beast. And it tells you about Revelation 13 and 16, man. All right? You keep going.
The latter of verse 10, it says, It contaminate the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished, to give it into the hand of the slayer.
In the hand of the slayer, all right, ultimately is Esau. Because Psalm 17 and 13 tells you that Esau is the sword of the Most High. So, you know, this was supposed to be the main part of the lesson, but the Spirit, you know, had us go into, you know, the main topic of, you know, getting on Esau and how his military is going to be destroyed. But the main point being, it says that it was sharpened to give into the hand of the slayer, being these devils, man. Because they have the technology to pretty much, you know, come down and wage war on you jakes, man. You got the AI with their artificial intelligence. You got racist robots. You got biochemical warfare. All right. You got literally all avenues of that sword has been perfected. Okay. You had up in New York, there was pretty much, you know, in their police force, where you had the people resigning. So it was like, fuck it, we're gonna bring the robot dogs out. You watch Boston Dynamics.
Yep.
All right, they got the robots that can fucking break. They show you they break dancing, they jumping. No, these niggas are gonna be like that movie Monsters of Men. All right, mowing you niggas down in the street. You thought iRobot was scary. Wait till you see this shit in real time. Tesla got their own robot. Looks like a fucking man. And you know, you see on the movies how hard it is to murk a robot. Man, these movies and these shows, Esau show you this ain't for play. This nigga got this shit prepared, man. You know, so this is why we're giving the warning to our people to get right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But the beautiful part about it, though, is that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to protect his elect from all that. Like Apostle Gabar made that video years ago. These things that we're talking about, we shouldn't fear them because those things are prepared for 2/3, man. All right? Hey, the Spirit wants to get on that now. So go to Isaiah 41 and start at 14. You know, we'll go for a little bit longer on that and we'll close it.
To 14.
14, yeah.
This is Yeshaya 14 or 41 and verse 14. It says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Yashar'Allah. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel."
Right, the Lord told us not to fear because he's with us. Hey, throughout the whole scriptures, the Lord tell us, you know, not to fear. Actually, when you go into and look on the blue letter, hey, for proof, go on the just put "fear not" and see how many times it come up.
144.
That's proof. All right, 144 times Yahweh Bashim Yahushua told us not to fear because he's with us. Now read that again, Baba Gashah.
Isaiah 41 and 14. "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord."
Fear not thy worm Jacob. A worm is defenseless. Literally, a worm, when you see a worm on the ground, a worm has zero defense. A worm can be killed by the sun. So really the only thing a worm can do to try to, you know, shield itself is to get into the dirt and burrow down. But even amongst the dirt, you got animals such as ants or insects such as ants and other insects that can get them. So really, a worm has no defense, and that's how the Lord has likened us. But he says not to fear because he is with them that fear him. All right? Yeah, something?
Wow, and I was just looking at the definition of worm.
You know? But you can finish something. You can go on if you ain't feeling it on there.
That was pretty much it. Keep going into Isaiah 40,
Yeah, keep
41.
going on
Verse 15. "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills like chaff."
And pretty much in this precept, it's saying that the Lord is going to give certain men spiritual power. Because after everything, you know, I named the robots, you know, the super soldiers, because you got them too, all right? Because we're talking about, you know, the military and their weakness, but you got also different military members that Esau has hidden. You actually heard Putin speak about this years ago, about how America has super soldiers hidden, all right? And it came out, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year during the whole Russia-Ukraine war, where he was saying that they were fighting super soldiers in Ukraine, man. All right. So the Lord told us that He's going to turn His men, or His elect men, you know, into a new instrument, a new threshing instrument having teeth, because He's going to give certain men spiritual power. All right. Brightburn, X-Men, Dragon Ball Z, all right, Avatar, all these spiritual movies that show you men with superpowers, they get their inspiration from the Bible because they know, these damn devils know as well, that there's going to be men on the earth that's going to be given this ability to fight against them. This is why they have, you know, on the left hand, these things such as super soldiers, man. When you watch movies like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that's real. The niggas are actually doing that shit, man. All right? So with that being said, to counteract that on the left hand, all right, the Lord's going to give them miracles on the right hand side to show forth why we shouldn't be afraid, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got something?
Con,
Go ahead.
pretty much going into your point, you know, you said they had like super soldiers and things like that. You know, they got different articles to where you still got that screenshot that was on Instagram.
What?
It said something about the drugs and stuff like that. Because pretty much, you know, you got you know, like spec ops and people that do those types of do that type of work. They pretty much they do like drugs and things like that,
you know, to keep themselves up for like days at a time. You know, so
Oh yeah.
the scripture, Daniel Allah 12:4, Daniel, it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." You know, so pretty much we in a time where knowledge is being increased. You know, this is Esau's last hurrah, so to speak. You know, so he's gonna come out he's gonna go out with a bang. You know, going into the fact, you know, they was testing the different you said they had different like pills, and they was experimenting with those soldiers in Russia, or not Russia, Ukraine. You know,
You talking about this?
kind of says
I read it.
kinda,
So, cause what the brother was talking about is different drugs that these damn Edomites take, you know, to pretty much, you know, get amped up. So it says on this one, what drugs do Navy SEALs use? It says 3 Navy SEALs, 1 active duty, 2 retired, agreed to talk to us on camera if we disguise their faces and change their voices to protect them from retribution. It says people that we know of that we hear have tested positive for cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, marijuana, ecstasy, said a seal.
kind of, so pretty much they already like what you would call like trained killers. So you know how much more in these times to come. You know, they had the video with the dude. He was basically like they got people that can smell, you know, Christian blood. You know.
Yeah, they got high level warlocks and witches
Mm-hmm.
whose sole purpose is to come after the men of the Lord. You know, they're high level, you know, demons who are ready to wage war on the elect. You know, and all they're waiting on is that green light from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, to come against us, which is going back to the Ezekiel 12. That's part of that sword being furbished, man. Because you got to realize that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has set these devils up to ultimately be used as a catalyst to bring forth judgment to kill 2/3 of the nation of Israel for your wickedness, man. All right, which leads me to this precept. This is 1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua? All right, and that's the whole reason why the Lord is allowing these devils to tap into that type of left-hand power, is because they're going to be used as the sword. All right, which I'm going to get that in a minute. All right, to bring forth the judgment to kill 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. Because Esau is going to be the main one of the main swords the Lord is going to use to bring that judgment. Because 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you got to understand, you are the part of the reason why the earth is fucked up. All right, I always bring out, you know, going into the destruction of the earth. If you pay attention to the correlation between the Israelites and the earth, the worse the Israelites became, the worse the earth became, man. All right. So to counteract that balance, man, Zechariah 13:8 tells you that 2/3 of the nation of Israel must be put to death. All right. And the Esau is going to be used as that main catalyst to bring forth that death, man. Because like I said, Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So you Edomites are the sword of the Most High. So going back, 1 Peter 4:17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? And this is why we're telling our people to repent. Because if you don't repent, you have no hedge of protection against all the judgment the Lord is about to bring upon the earth, which is going to start at the house of God, which is you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Which makes this message so scary. Because niggas will sit there and say, oh, you're fear-mongering. You're damn right we fear-mongering, because the scriptures tell you, through the fear of the Lord, we persuade men, because we know the horrors that Yahweh Shem Yahushua can bring. Scriptures tell you, all right, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. The Lord is the one that created your spirit, so he knows your deepest, darkest spirits. He can put you in a situation that is horrible. You look at the way the Lord be fucking these damn heathen up, man. All right? So how much more his own people? Look at what he did to us. We are his favorite people on the earth. The Lord took us through the worst time ever in human history via the transatlantic slave trade, the American slavery. And he did that to the people he loved. So how much more to the people that he hates, which is you fucking Edomites, man. You know? So from there, can you get 2nd Ezra 16 and 71? You know, just circling all back to the topic. You know, we just want to, you know, go into that real quick before we end the lesson out. You know, 'cause, you know, spirit like to win, man. You know.
You said 70 and 71.
Yeah.
This is 2nd Isaiah, also Ezra chapter 16 and verse 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord."
Yeah, it's going to be great persecution for the believers of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. Hey, Esau already has everything set up. You know, Project Megiddo. All right. Agenda 21. You know, we go into these different things all the time, man. The guillotines, everything is set up. All right, for the persecution of the saints, man. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
They shall be as madmen, sparing none. Because like we always going to, hey, these different troops, these UN troops and these Gurger troops, they're already over here in America, and they're just waiting for that green light to get busy, all right, to kill. Because these niggas ain't gonna have no remorse like the so-called U.S. soldiers, man. All right, because these domestic soldiers, they're gonna have reserves about taking out their own. This is why you have these foreign troops are already established over here to where they're not gonna have any qualms about gunning down the American civilian, man. You know, because they're not from here. That's why brother Tazamaka the bar from the Charlotte camp always brings out, hey, China got troops over here already. Russia got troops over here already. They're sleeper cells. When you watch movies like Salt, which is a good movie, you know, Salt shows you that you have Russia sleeper cells already over here, man. All right, all they need is that activation, like in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, man. You know, they got sleeper cells, so they just waiting for that activation. They're gonna just start murking niggas, man. You know, so they're gonna be like madmen sparing none, because they ain't give a damn if it's a man, woman, or even a child. They're gonna kill whoever they got orders to kill, man. All right. So when martial law is activated, there's gonna be a curfew and all that. They're gonna be killing niggas left and right. You feel me? So this is why we're telling you to get right with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, so you don't have to fall victim to that shit, man. Because the Lord ain't playing with niggas, man. If you ain't right, you in the Lord's hit list, you gonna die. That's just what it is, man. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had for that.
Okay.
So Lord willing, and we're gonna end it right here. So yeah, Lord willing, man, this lesson was edifying. To all those that tuned in or that will tune in and watch this, after it's already, ended. So we're gonna end it right here. Like I said, Lord willing is edifying. So we're gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us the truth and that rule well. And peace and citation to the elect that's out here laboring in all truth and sincerity. To you we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, Kwame Yasharala and Abba Ball.
Abba Ball.